Thanks, Brian. Women's golf battled it out through the rain to get a tournament title. Volleyball stayed busy over this fall break, and rifle checked in at the top 5 in this week's coaches poll. And one former Frog made an NBA roster. All that and more coming up on this week's Texas Health and Sports Medicine Sports Report. Starting off, women's golf took home their first tournament title since 2016. Earlier this week in San Antonio, freshman Sabrina Iqbal in her second collegiate tournament was a co-medalist, finishing 1 under par, and 2 other Horned Frogs joined her in the top 6 to help boost the Frogs to get that first place spot. Now the Frogs are back in action later this month at the Jim West Challenge. And moving on to TCU Rifle, who defeated Coast Guard in their last home meet to help check them in at the number 4 spot in this week's coaches poll. The freshman trio for the Frogs continues to shine, and they are back on the range later this week when they travel to Citadel. And the student body just finished their fall break. They had Monday and Tuesday off of school, making it a long weekend. So what did women's volleyball do? Did they relax on the beach, take a chill? No. They were out in the community giving back and keeping busy out there on the court. I love seeing the Frogs filling up their free time, giving back to the community of Fort Worth. And finally, a huge congratulations are in order to Kenrich Williams, former TCU basketball player who made the New Orleans Pelicans final roster. He becomes the first former Frog since the 2012-2013 season when Kurt Thomas was in the NBA. Kenrich, the whole Frog family is behind you. Congratulations. And speaking of basketball, men's and women's basketball is less than 20 days away from tip-off right here in the Schollmaier, November 6th and 7th. Back-to-back days for opening night. Fans, come out, pack the Schollmaier. It's going to be one heck of a season for both of these teams. And finally, earlier today, I caught up with a head coach from women's soccer. I'm joined now with head coach Eric Bell. Coach, you guys have 2 more games left of conference play, right. 5 overtime games this season. You sit at the middle of the pack in the Big 12. How would you assess your team's performance so far this season?
So far, so good. Happy with what we're doing and where we're going and how we're doing. I think that we only had a couple hiccups throughout the course of the season, but for the most part, we've been really consistent with our play, and I like our team, and I think they're pretty motivated to achieve their goals that they set out to achieve at the beginning of the season.
And I bet it's so nice to have your senior class. They have the most in program history, 42 wins. They were a part of the back-to-back NCAA tournaments. Sure. What is it like having them to help lead your team and guide them as they've built throughout this program?
Well, leadership and experience is invaluable. And our 9 seniors bring all of that to the table, and without them, I don't know where we would be at this point in time in the season. So it's an awesome time, and I think they've done a tremendous job from a leadership standpoint. And at the beginning of the season, we had some questions about it, but I think overall that they've done a really good job in leading our team to where we are right now.
And you get to honor them this Friday night at senior night, so you get to honor them and give back to what they've given you guys.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's the cycle of college athletics where you only have 4 years to compete, and we're obviously sad to see them leave, but they contributed great things to our program, and obviously having the most wins by any class is awesome. So happy for them. I think that they're still, as I would say, still meat left on the bone, and I think they're still hungry to achieve more and win a lot more games.
And even though their 4 years is up, they're a Frog for life. That's what we always say. So,
for sure.
And freshman Maddie Warren leads your team in goals. What has she brought to the team?
Well, I think that in the recruiting process, we knew she had some goal-scoring qualities, and she was a very good soccer player. But being able to transfer that immediately at this level in college soccer is pretty difficult. I think that she's transitioned quite well.
I love that you keep saying throughout this is you're still hungry for more. The season, there's still Big 12 tournaments coming up, and the postseason. So there's a lot to come with TCU soccer.
Absolutely.
Coach, thank you for the time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this Friday night and the rest of conference play.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back right after this. More to come here on Horned Frogs Nation.